Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, everybody. Inshallah, today we are going to resume our topic about writing. But before we have our writing task, yesterday we studied this text about a couple who have different characteristics. Today, inshallah, we need to listen again to this text and answer the other questions and get ready, inshallah, to write a similar one, bi'idhnillah. Before we start, I'd like to ask you about, can you remember who are the couple or who are the people in this text which we studied yesterday and listened to? This text was about whom? Can you remember? Yes, guys. We did this yesterday and we listened to it once or twice. Okay, Abdullah Zaid.
About different couples.
Okay, how old are they? Are you young or old?
Old.
How do you know they are old? How do you know?
Because he says my grandfather and my grandmother.
Because this text is about grandparents, a grandmother and grandfather. Okay, well, yesterday, guys, we answered some of the questions. In fact, I cannot remember. Maybe we have finished the number one. Who are the people involved? I'm sure we answered this one. What kind of people are they? This one, we haven't answered it. So let's start from here. But first, we are going to listen again to the text just to remember the main points, okay? Listen again.
Page 14. 10. Writing.
There is a memory that always makes me smile with contentment and admiration, and that is the memory of my maternal grandparents. My grandfather was a dedicated lawyer whose moral fiber prevented him from taking advantage of circumstances to make a profit. He was highly respected in Turkish courts and had the reputation of the most honest law specialist. He was genuinely interested in people, history, law, and philosophy, and was always reading when he was at home. He was the calmest, most serene person I have ever met. He never raised his voice, never lost his temper, and had a special ability to always rationalize things ever so smoothly that the worst calamity seemed like a slight twitch. Nothing could make him lose his sense and aura of peace. Grandmother, on the other hand, was the exact opposite. She used to get all worked up about things and flustered over minor irregularities. She had to have everything planned just so, and still worried about things that could go wrong. She wanted everything to be perfect, sometimes to an extreme. Once, when she had gotten into her cleanliness frenzy, she called someone in and got rid of genuine antique furniture that Grandfather had painstakingly collected over a number of years and arranged in this perfect replica of a drawing room. There were fine, elegant chairs with brocade upholstery on the seats and beautiful tables, not to mention some exquisite mirrors. Grandmother had gotten it into her head that it was all useless because it collected too much dust, and decided to sell it off to the first bidder for next to nothing. When Grandfather came home, he opened the door to the little drawing room to admire his creation and found an empty shell. He asked Grandmother where everything was, and she very naturally informed him that she'd gotten rid of it because it was a dust magnet. All he did was chuckle, and then sat down at the table to have his lunch. This incident pretty much rounds up the amazing symbiosis between these two wonderful people. In spite of their different characteristics, they obviously complemented each other in a way that only they could fully appreciate.
Okay, guys. We have listened again to the same text, okay, to remember what we studied yesterday and to get the main points. Now, let's go to this question. What kind of people are they? I mean, the grandfather and grandmother, okay? Of course, in your book, you should underline words which provide information about each other. But now, just tell me some of the characteristics of each one. Who can? What kind of people are they? Let me first share the CD with you, okay?
Mega Goal 5.
Yes, guys, ready? What kind of people are they? Can you describe each one? Can you give me some of their characteristics? Their yes. Let's start with yes, Azam.
The grandfather is a very calm person.
Yeah. What if
He never gets angry.
good?
He has a strong moral fiber.
Good.
He always find solutions to problems.
Okay.
And yeah, just that.
Okay, guys. Is there anyone want us to add something to the grandfather, guys? As I mentioned, some of his characteristics. Well, what about the grandmother, guys? Who's going to tell me something about her? You should have your books in hand, by the way, okay? Your books should be in hand and the text open, okay? And you should underline the main points which you want to speak about. I need a new guy. Yes, again, Abdulaziz. Okay, no problem. Yes, Abdulaziz.
She wants everything perfect, and she always planning.
Well, what else?
Oh,
What about her? Is she calm like her husband?
no.
Well, what else? What can you remember? Or what can you get? You can open your book and see the text in front of you. Here is the text, guys. You can start from here, from this paragraph. Grandmother, on the other hand, and start to get the most important points.
She used to get all woke up about things, and yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay, Abdulaziz. Thanks. Any guy? Anyone wants to add about? Let me accept waiting, guys. Okay. Yes, guys. Do you have anything to add about the character or personality of the grandfather or grandmother? Well, the first question which we started yesterday, the people who are involved in this text, of course, they are the writers, maternal grandparents, okay? Number two, here is some of the characteristics of each one. For example, the grandfather, he's a dedicated lawyer. Oral fiber, Abd Azam mentioned this, highly respected, most honest law specialist, and the many characteristics mentioned here. and start from here. The grandmother, as you can see, Abdulaziz mentioned this one. She get all worked up. She is and she flustered over minor irregularities. She needs everything planned, as he said. Okay. Well, number 3, in your view, and this was the homework, by the way, and I'm so sorry to tell you, just a few guys answered or did the homework. 4 guys got the mark. Abdulaziz Aid, Azam, Arakan, and Nawaf Al-Aizan. They give me a correct answer. Other guys gave a wrong answer, not correct one. And many guys didn't participate. I just give you one question, one easy question yesterday as a homework, okay? So please, when you have homework, please participate with me to get a mark. I don't want to send the names to the administration and say they are lazy students. So who's going to answer this one, guys? In your view, what are the characteristics they share? You can get your answer from here, maybe. Here are characteristics of the grandfather, and here is grandmother. What's in common? What do they have in common? No, I need someone away from Azam, away from Rakan, away from Nawaf, and Abdulaziz, because they got the full mark for this question. Other guys, about the grandfather and mother, guys, what characteristics they share? I need something which they share, they both share, something they have in common. Who can tell me? Maybe you don't need to go back to the book. You can look here at this books. Yes, guys. Who's ready? You are so lazy today. You can read here. Can you find any qualities, any characteristics which is similar here and there? Okay, I'm going to give you the time to find the answer to my question. But during this time, I'm going to take absence. Okay, so wait a minute. Please. When I call your name, please put your hand. Okay, please, Ahmed Mohammed Abdurrahman, put your hand, please. I'm going to take absence. If you don't put your hello, if you don't raise your hand, I'll take you. I consider you absent student. Ahmed Mohammed Abdurrahman, are you there? Ahmed Mohammed Abdurrahman. Okay, drop your hand. Ahmed Mustafa. Okay, drop your hand. لا لا, just when I call your name, guys. Okay. خلاص أحمد مصطفى, drop your hand. Okay. أنس. أنس المانع. أنس المانع, are you there? absent. Let's take تركي فايز. اوكي تركي. تركي فيصل. اوكي تركي. خالد صالح. خالد صالح. اوكي absent. ركان حسن. ركان يس ركان اوكي. ريان. ريان. اوكي ريان. سامي. سامي العنزي. سامي absent. سطام. اوكي سعد. سعد absent. اوكي سعد where have you been؟ سلطان راشد. سلطان راشد. absent. يا شباب لو سمحتوا when I call your name raise your hand don't be late okay. اوكي سلطان خلاص I see your hand. سلطان سعود العتيبي. سلطان سعود. خلاص يا سلطان راشد I saw your hand خلاص. سلطان سعود العتيبي absent. wait for your name صالح لسه صالح. صالح ونايف المحيا وعبد العزيز لو سمحتوا not now not now not now when I call your name okay. سلطان العنبري. سلطان العنبري. اوكي. سلمان. اوكي. صالح. خلاص I saw you صالح it's okay. عايض. عايض. عايض absent. عبد الرحمن خالد. عبد الرحمن خالد. اوكي. شباني. عبد الرحمن الشباني. عبد الرحمن الشباني. اوكي عبد الرحمن. عبد الرحمن الشيحة. الشيحة not here. النوفل. اوكي النوفل. عبد العزيز عايد اوكي خلاص. هزاع. اوكي هزاع خلاص ضرب الهند هزاع. شثري. شثري. اوكي شثري. الحبس. عبد الله الحبس. عبد الله الحبس. Are you there عبد الله الحبس؟ not there. absent. عبد الله سعود. اوكي عبد الله. عبد الله عبد الاله. عبد الاله العنزي. عبد الاله. يس عبد الاله. Are you there؟ not there. عزام اوكي. عمر. عمر. عمر بدر اوكي. فراس الشباني. فراس الشباني. فراس الشباني not there. فهد. فهد. فهد القحطاني اوكي فهد. فيصل جاسم. فيصل جاسم. فيصل جاسم not there. كريم أسعد. كريم أسعد absent. محمد الغمدي. الغمدي اوكي. محمد سامي. محمد سامي absent. عبد الرزاق. محمد عبد الرزاق. محمد عبد الرزاق نايف. محمد نايف الملحم. محمد الملحم. محمد الملحم. not there. مشاري. مشاري الحربي. مشاري الحربي. absent. مشعان. مشعان. اوكي مشعان. مشعل. اوكي مشعل خلص ضرب الهاند. ناصر. ناصر. ناصر السلامة. اوكي. نايف المحيا. اوكي نايف خلاص ضرب الهاند. نايف الدسري. نايف الدسري. absent. اوكي. نواف عنزان. اوكي. اللهيميد. اللهيميد. نواف اللهيميد. I accepted him. Okay, no problem. Absent. يزيد الرميح. يزيد الرميح. absent. يوسف المسعود. المسعود. اوكي. اوكي عايد. اوكي مستر عايد wake up. مستر عايد خلاص I know you are here. Okay guys, let's go back to our task here. This question guys. خلاص drop your hands guys. I have taken the absence. Okay, drop your hands and get ready to answer this question. Yeah. In your opinion, what are the characteristics that they share? Yes, مشعان. Yes, مشعان.
Nothing, teacher.
Nothing. Excellent مشعان. They don't have any characteristics in common يا شباب. لو لاحظنا they have opposite characteristic. So the answer to this one we can say nothing or they don't share any characteristics. Okay. Well, let's go to the other one here. What do you think might have happened? Suppose they have or they shared exactly the same characteristics. What would have happened in your opinion? How would they act and what would have been their attitude to life? Suppose and they have or they were both like the grandfather. What would have happened? Can you tell me? Imagine they were like the grandfather, they two, both of them. What would have happened? And then suppose and they were both like a grandmother. What would have happened? Let's start about this one, grandfather. Yes, Azam?
The house would be less clean.
Less clean. You are talking about the bad points. What about the good points?
No arguments and.
Okay, yeah. They would live in peace, I think, right?
Yeah.
They would be calm, a calm family, no fights, no shout.
But even here there is no fights.
Okay, let's check this answer. Can you read it, Azam, please?
If they were both like the grandfather, they would probably forget to take care of what? Practicalities and day-to-day issues.
You mean
Yeah.
he means that they would neglect their issues maybe, and in my opinion, it would be a calm family. Okay, no fights. And you added a good point when you said the house wouldn't be clean. Right. Suppose they were like the grandmother. Yes, guys. Imagine. Yes, Raken.
They would end the annoying.
End annoying.
Yeah,
How can they end annoying? You mean they would have been annoying. They too were annoying, right?
yeah.
Okay, what else? Let's have a look. You see? Yeah, they would end up annoying each other because they will not be calm and they will cause a lot of stress. Well, the writer chose one particular incident to talk about, which we listened to when the grandmother sold his antique. So, why do you think, or what do you think this incident portrays? What can you get from this incident exactly? Before I forget, guys, today, inshallah, we have a homework, or we have homework. Okay, it's written. We have homework. It's written one. I'm going to show you. You will find it here. It's on page 15. Page 15, guys. On page 15, inshallah, you are asked to write a short essay about two friends. Okay, I cannot read from here. Let me share the PDF. This is your task today, Shabab. This is your homework. Of course, when you fill in this diagram, it will help you to write your essay. ولكن at last مطلوب منك to write a short essay about the two friends explaining how they complement each other. Any two friends, no problem. Your brother and his friend, your sister and her friend, two of your friends, no problem. Before you start here, you mention the qualities or characteristics of the first one here, okay? And the second one here in this space. And here, you can use the things or characteristics in common between them. Then start like this one, like this model. Rosa and Mariam are a perfect friendship. Okay, my sister Rosa, or any names, no problem. And her best friend Mariam have been friends since elementary school. They always seem to be together, and others joke that they are twins, and so on. But don't forget to read this and put it into consideration. When you write, you must use some things like here. As you see, you must vary the way you express your thoughts and memories and feelings. Okay, use expressions like this one. I think he or she is a space. I have always felt that space. I regard him or her as a space. I want you all guys to use these expressions in your essay. Don't forget to use linking device or devices, okay? To express contrast, to express cause, effect, consequence, reason, like what? Use due to, although, in spite of, while, compared to, because of, as a result, both, and, but, as you like, okay? So these items make your essay looks attractive, and taking into consideration the other points here, you must read them all and write, don't forget, a short one. We need a short essay, short one. Don't write so long one. Write it in hand or on your, or type it on your mobile as you like, and send it to me, inshallah. I'm going to check it. Okay, don't forget, it's important. Well, now let's go back to our questions. We stopped here. Okay, here, what about this incident which the writer mentioned? Of course, he chose this incident just to give us one idea. It's a good example of what this word which Abdulaziz explained 2 lessons ago. Yeah, it's symbiosis between them. They complement each other. So this is the point, it was the goal, or was the target of mentioning this incident. Well, can you tell me what's the topic of the first paragraph? Can you tell me the first paragraph in this short text? What's the topic of it? I guess we have finished our, yes, Azam? Okay.
Introduction.
Of course, any paragraph, as you know, any essay, you must start with the introduction. So the first paragraph was introduction, just he introduced the theme. As you can see, paragraph number 2, he spoke about his grandfather. Paragraph 3, he spoke about his grandmother and her characteristics, as you can see. Paragraph number 4, he mentioned, or he told us about his grandfather's reaction. What did he do when he found that his antique was sold? And the last paragraph, as usual, it's a conclusion, and it's the writer's opinion or point of view. You too, when you write an essay, you must start with an introduction. Then you can make a paragraph about the character number 1, another paragraph about the character number 2, or the friend number 2, okay? Then you can finish your essay with a conclusion or your opinion about this relationship. Okay, we have no time to finish the other questions, okay? Because you have another lesson. So thank you so much for your attendance, and thanks for participation. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Don't forget your homework, okay?